Welcome to Beyond Repair. Today we have a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe and we're talking about slight vibrations that progressively getting more and more violent when you reach like 70 or let's say 80 miles an hour. So anywhere after 50-60 miles an hour you start feeling them. If you go like 70 or above, it's pretty much unbearable. You can literally tell they're there, and it's shaking to the point that your phone mount is literally dancing. So today on Beyond Repair we're trying to troubleshoot this, and I'll give you an idea or kind of logic behind what you should look for. First and foremost, let's talk about your tires, because this is the number one reason why would you have some sort of a issue with your car not driving straight or not going smooth. So we just turn the ignition, twist the steering wheel left or right, whatever you like, and now we're gonna expose the front tires. When we do that, let's go on the other side. You can clearly tell that the tire is in very good condition. It's not on the wear marks. It's not been shaved from creepy alignment, because if you have issues with the alignment and it's not a new set of tires, you will have some sort of a, you know, wear on one side where it's gonna be not even, more like one way or another. So what I can see right away, here's the chip of rubber missing, but I don't think this can possibly cause any issues. What I like to do, just put your hand and you will wash out all the dirt later on, and try to run it, because sometimes it's not visible but it will have some sort of a bump or rubber issue that will create a spot which will be constantly bouncing and creating the vibrations. Especially if you hear woo 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 woo, that's most definitely gonna be a bumpy tire and issue with the rubber. So now I'm running my hand, I don't feel any issues. Let's twist the front. I don't see any issues. This is kind of looks to me like a brand new tire that was recently replaced. And here's what we also want to check. Look at the sidewall. You see I have 29, 21. I'll give you a close-up. It's like a bubble with 4 numbers. 29, 21. It means that my tire was created on the factory 21st week, 29th, yeah, week number 29, year 21. So we're in 2023. I know it's about 2-year old, and normally those tires spend at least a year between factory shipping and all that stuff. So if you get the tire, if you get brand new tires and you look up at the date and it's going to be within a year or 2, you're good to go. If your tire is more than 5-7 years old, doesn't matter how much tread it's got, it will most likely be dried in terms of the rubber, so it's not going to be soft, it's not going to be grippy, and you might end up, you know, replacing even before you're going to wear them. So I don't see any issues. Like I said, let's pull forward and inspect the lower portion of those tires, and after that we'll go to the rears. That will definitely do it. So now we know that we can completely check front and rear. I have no issues with this side. I can tell that was on the ground because I have rocks, but no issues here. Visually this tire is good to go, but still I have vibrations. Well, in this case we have to check the other side, so we have to make sure that we still check the tire completely. So 100% we can say those two tires are not our issue, because in order to create vibrations you need something. You need, let's say, a bump that big sticking out from your tire. I'll try to find the rock just to give you an idea. So something should be pretty much that big on top of the thread in order to create noticeable sound or vibrations. So now let's go to the rear wheels. The easiest way to look at them, like, you have to look at them visually, because remember, the same goes for the front and rear. If one side is completely chewed up, you know exactly what's going on. You don't need anything else. So just take a few steps back, and now you can look at the profile. Profile looks good, but what if we do the same test? We just place our hand on top and run it. Wait a second, why is the center like a belt? I call it belt because it looks like a belt on the center, and you have two sides, left and right. Why the center is kind of bouncy? So you have uneven wear. So I've got uneven wear here, the center portion kind of lower, and it bounces up and down when I run my hand. Weird. This inside portion is kind of cut more than the outside. Here the center is higher than the corners left and right. So I know the answer right now. Let's check the driver's side. And we place our hand and I feel the same story. So my center portion is higher, this is lower, and it's bouncy. Like, I feel when I run my hand, this side is lower than this one. It should be even, Steven, the same way as the front. If you have solid tire to check, run your hand one more time. Good. Put your hand on the bad tire. Oh yeah, I feel it. I know why it's making vibrations. I can tell you for sure this is the issue. Look at the rear, and it's the 31st week of 2019. The same goes on the other side. So yeah, it's 4 years old, but the problem is Sumitomo. Am I the only one who never heard of this brand? So I don't think my front tires are something premium and very well known. It's prime well. Yeah, it's premium. It's prime well. Let me tell you the other couple of ways that it can cause trouble. So when it's going old and when it's drying, it's making more noises. You are driving, there's no vibrations, but the faster you go, the more road noises you get. By the point that it's like trying to scream louder than your radio, you know? So if you have that, your tire is getting dry and it's not flexible anymore, so it's creating more friction and creates more noises. Next, if you have something, let's just separate into the two portions. If you have vibrations or weird stuff under braking, that's most likely your brakes or your control arm, your tire rods and stuff like that. So if your vibrations and noises get progressively worse when you're braking, look at the control arms, look at the bushings, look at the suspension. if you just getting noises and progressive vibrations when you increase the speed, especially over 60 miles an hour, you should look for old tire and uneven wear. And if you don't get too much vibrations on the steering wheel, that should point you towards the rear, because if it would be the same tire on the front, it creates the vibrations through the chassis to the point that my cell phone is shaking and I cannot see the maps. Well, you can imagine what would happen if we put the same tires on the front. I give you a few clues. You can try to figure it out yourself instead of paying somebody else. Yes, it could be alignment, but alignment in most of the cases should pull, meaning the car should pull to the right when you want to go straight, or pull to the left. That's when you really need the alignment. And if you're experiencing issues under braking, look at the control arms, bushings, suspension. If you have noises and vibrations increasing speed, look at your tires. I hope this information will give you a general idea what you should look for. I hope you will check the date on your tires, because if you have car that's been sitting, it's not safe to drive if your tire like 8 years old or even more. You should not do that. This is the only thing that actually grabs and connects you to the road. And I'll give you a simple example why you should not drive on the older rubber. Your braking distance will increase almost twice as much on the older tire and newer tire with the same tread. Like if it's gonna be the same level of the tread wear, you will still be braking 2 times longer. You would still need 2 times more space to stop if your tire is old, because dry rubber is not gripping the same way as a flexible and soft rubber. It's not gonna be warming up, it's gonna make noises and a lot of things that we already discussed. So it's been weeks, and yes, we replaced those tires. Yes, I got the replacements. And this is the tires that we were talking about. When it's on the car, you cannot see it, but take a look at the grooves. They are not like flat, they raised up, and also you see it's wavy under different light conditions. You can see more or you can see less, but take a look what I was talking about. You see, this is lower, this is higher, this is lower, this is higher. That's what makes these vibrations and noises, like you can clearly tell. And also when you look in the groove, you can see they are dry rotted. That's the first sign. You don't have to be an expert how to run your hand on top of the tire, but if you see they start dry rotting like this, where you see little cracks all over the place in the tire itself, like not on the thread can be worn out and stuff like that. You can see different water grooves, but if it's inside, right here or right here or right here, you can tell right away it's a tire. By the way, I've replaced the tires, I drove it, it drives perfect, no noises, no issues whatsoever. And instead of throwing them away, I've decided to keep those 2 tires so I can at least show you what's happening. So I hope this video will help you to navigate in terms of the tires, vibrations and stuff like that. If this video is helpful, please make sure to thumbs up. It's so much easier to just go check and, you know, order new tires. I would be home like 20 minutes ago. It's so much harder to spend another half of the day editing the videos, uploading to the YouTube. So if you thumbs up, if you say thank you, if you ask your questions down below in the comments, that will show us that we do something right here. And if we do something right, we'll keep posting. So thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.